Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm going to make a two-strand bracelet using some um, Tierra cast elements and some Swarovski pearls. So I had a question from Brenda Anderson about her 14-year-old niece, and she asked what kind of bracelet do 14-year-olds like. And you know what, I haven't got a clue. Now I do follow the trends, so I do watch videos and read articles and stuff like that of what is trendy right now and stuff, and you can kind of tell by from watching, TV where they have like Entertainment Tonight and stuff like that. You can see what the celebrities are wearing and whatnot, so you can get an idea like that. And some of the music artists definitely have a big influence on setting trends. So my thought was something like chunky chain, and right now it might be going out, but it's pretty popular still, I think. And I've seen a lot of guys wearing pearls, so that's like amazing. I'm so excited for that. Um, and they're adding different elements to the pearl. So they're adding things like a different bead in there and some charms and stuff like that. So that's really cool. They're using them as chokers or a little lower on the neck. I'm not sure specifically about bracelets. The other thing I saw a lot of is splitting pearls with chain, with that chunky chain. So they call it punk um, jewelry. It's not the punk jewelry that we're used to from the punk music in the, 70s, 80s. It's basically like chunky chain and big charms and stuff like that. So for today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this bracelet. I'm going to make it for myself. Because this is another way that I hoard my Tierra cast elements. I'm just saying. So I have these incredible chunky connectors, I guess you would call them. And I actually have Tierra cast jump rings. So I'm going to use those to connect. I'm not quite sure. I set them out. My wrist is a 6-inch wrist, so it's pretty small. So here's the I have to confess here. I was going to do this and this as a bracelet, one bracelet, but put them like next to each other. And then when I got them in line, I'm like, okay, that's 12 inches, Emma. So it's like we're doing two strands. So there we go. So you could still do a single strand, just take half of your strand of Swarovski pearls or whatever pearls you have. Freshwater pearls. Um, for young people, from what I gather, there's a lot of meaning behind their jewelry. So I think that part of that is with Taylor Swift. Now I know Taylor Swift is more into the 30 age range, but definitely if you think back to when you were a teenager, one of the biggest things is we always wanted to be like the older people because we weren't allowed to do a lot of stuff. You were too old to be like a kid and do kid stuff, but you were too young to be an adult and, go to parties. For us, it was like we couldn't even go to the skating rink at 14 years old. We used to get our sister's ID and use it to get into the skating rink. You had to be 16. I'm like, why? What are you going to do at the skating rink? Anyway, so let's get started and see what we can come up with. I have this lovely Tierra cast toggle clasp. I've been dying to use these. I love the hammered metal that they have, and this is the end piece. Now I am going to point out for this, it's very important to make sure you have some length here at the end of the toggle, because to get it through your hole, it has to go through, and part of your bracelet has to come through so that you can get the other side on. So always remember that. So initially when I was going to split this in two, I was going to take the pearls and put it on this side so that the chain can go through on this side. But since we're doing two, I'm kind of thinking this through right now. So for this one, I think what we're going to do is we're going to attach this to a jump ring, and then put a few jump rings on here so that, or the other thought I had is to add it, I'm going to make a few jump rings together on this end with the clasp part, the toggle, and then attach the pearls there so it'll hang something like that. Yeah, I think that's what we need to do. So I'll have to remember to take off a couple of beads so that it's not bigger than the actual chain. So a little bit of kind of fiddling through. I'm going to pull out some more jump rings. And I have different sizes because these are thick. So I think these are, I want to say 7mm. Let's see. It says 6. I'm pretty sure they're 7s. I don't know that they sell 6s, but I could be wrong. And then the other ones are ovals. These are really cool. They look amazing once you have them together. So I think we'll just start hooking things together to get an idea, and then we'll string. So you do need some tools for this. I have the flush cutters, because to string our pearls, we're going to use the Beadalon satin gold wire. It's 7 strand, and this is the items you need to use to crimp it. So I'll need some crimp beads. I forgot to get those out. Let me grab those. Put those there. Okay. So we'll just start by connecting. I kind of have an idea where I want stuff. So one of the things that I was saying about having meaning to their bracelets is with Taylor Swift, the friendship bracelets are huge, and they exchange them at the concerts, and they'll use like the alphabet beads and spell out some of the words from her songs and stuff like that. So that's really cool. The other thing is, some of the bracelets will, like if you have a charm, the charm has to have meaning. So for mine, there's a message in mine. I don't know if you can see that. So E is for Emma, that's my name. So I would actually, you could put it in order, but I kind of want the charms to go together. But you could put it this way. So Emma loves kitty cats. I know it's a very basic message. Oh, there should be some beads there too. Emma loves beads. I think that's understood in the whole schmozzle. So I've got my tools here, so I'm going to use these. These actually just fit. So I think what I'm going to do, as you can see, it's very cramped. I was able to get the heart and the oval together, but it was like quite kind of stuck to each other. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this one off. I'm going to fix the camera so that you can see what I'm doing here. There we go. And actually I'm going to need two, because I'm going to need one on the other side. So let's put a second one on. And these jump rings were all together, like stuck together. I've never bought jump rings from Tierra cast, so let me know if you've ever had stuff like that. I'm not complaining, that's for sure. There. So I put one on each side. And so that's what I'll do. I'll go across and put one on each side of these items. And then I think what we'll do is put some ovals in between. That'll look really cool. So you see what I mean? These are all connected. There. So I hope everybody's doing well. I'm so sick and tired of daylight savings. Oh my God. Every year it really affects my mood. So I make sure that I get outside in the cold air or just to kind of snap me out of it or something. But I was sitting here, 5 o'clock at night, and it's dark out. I'm like, no! I can't do a whole winter like that. But we just heard that WestJet is now flying direct flights out of Halifax to England. Oh, get to go see Kath direct. They said the flight was $300 direct. I think that's Canadian. I am guessing that they didn't add any fees on it. Like it could be $200 to $300 just in fees. But and then of course that's only one way, so by the time you're done, it's something like 1,000 return or something. But anyway, still great. It's so nice. So here in Halifax, if we want to go anywhere, we usually like substantial. We usually have to go to Toronto first and then fly out of Toronto, which is a pain in the butt because Toronto's a huge airport. It's like you don't want to be your second, you've already got an hour or so just in flying. They expect you at the airport so early. Again, that's a first world problem, I know. And you know what? I'm not confident yet for flying when it comes to COVID. I've been immunized, but I even if there was no risk, I think just the anxiety would freak me out. So, like, I don't know. Don't want to have crazy bead lady on the flight with you. I'm gonna bring this down a bit here. So yeah, I cannot believe I was booking some appointments into like the mid-December, and I'm like, I can't believe we're talking December already. Just, I remember as a kid how slow time passed. Definitely not the case now. Yep. We're no spring chickens. I wonder where that saying came from. And don't say my grandmother. Yep, she coined the phrase. Okay. Let me make sure that one's in nicely. Tight. Okay. So we'll do this one too. So we need one more round for that. And then the rest will all be ovals. It would be nice if they were thicker gauge, like an 18 gauge. They'd really match the... But I think this is going to look pretty spectacular. There's one. There. This one. You know, you could actually put some pearls on head pins, like, and put loops on either side and do some beaded chain in between. Ooh. But then it would be really long. And you could do a double wrap. Let's think about that. I have such a hard time making decisions when it comes to stuff like this. I'm like, oh, let me do this, let me do that. Okay, so we definitely need to get these ovals on here. And we're going to put a couple of ovals here so that we can suspend our charms. We want to keep the charms away from the clasp so it doesn't impede getting the clasp on. And I want to keep them away from the pearls. So if we're doing 2 strands, they're going to be touching the pearls, which could damage the coating. But if you're doing all 1 strand, then I would put the charms on this side. But I kind of like it grouped in with these nice pieces here. Okay, so I need to think about this beaded chain here for a second. No, I think I'm going to do the strand and the thing. So let's get these ovals on. I'm going to put a round one on there. It's probably fine using an oval on that, but it does look a little bit cramped here. Take that one off and get this one on. Oh, this is not friendship. I don't know if you see what's happening, but every time I move the clasp out of the jump ring, it keeps popping in. What's that saying? Oh, behave. There, got it. I had to go faster just to get it in. I'm going to fix that. I don't like how much of a space there is. There. Okay. Oh, I'm being silly. We'll keep the other round for the other part of the clasp. So for this, is there one that's closed? No. Yeah, there's no point putting it on. It's not closed. If it was closed, I could add it to it. So if you were doing like a whole bunch of chain, you could, and your jump rings were closed, you could put 2 open jump rings on one closed one and then attach them. So you're attaching 3 at a time. But let's make sure that's snug. That. Let's get another one on there. Like that. I thought I had that open enough. I guess not. So I was going to say, when I was talking about how dark it is outside, we are expecting 2 weather systems coming in and merging, and it's supposed to get 100-mile-an-hour winds and rain. So this is supposed to happen tomorrow. So we're expecting power failures. So I'm just, I just tested it. It seems to go through okay with this. Just this many links. I think once we get it connected, if it takes more, then I'll add more. But right now, it looks like it's doing it. So I could have added this to this. So that's, but I didn't know. Okay. Let's add this on there. This is looking nice already. Oh, it's very pretty. Okay, I forgot. I need to add some links here. I wonder if I did 2 ovals and a round, because the round would give this more space. And you know what? We have some tiny ovals. I don't know if it would work on these charms. They're kind of big, the holes. Let me test this out. I didn't think this one through. Sometimes if you think, oh, she's so unprepared, you'd be right. But part of it is there's so much preparation. I don't know how Stephanie from Bronze Pony and I can't remember her name. Shoot, and I can't remember her so this may not be as, like, I want to have some movement, and if I attach that to another piece of chain, it will be a bit. But you know what? I'm going to test it out because this one's quite big and long. I don't want them dangling too much. Like that. Try the kitty cat one. These are super tiny. Speaking of things dangling, you guys have a dirty mind. That's not what I was going to say. But close. When I was nursing in North Carolina, I had a patient that he fell off a balcony or something like that. So anyway, he was doing rehab in the nursing home. So it was unusual to have people that could walk in the nursing home because by then they're mostly bedridden. Anyway, so he would come up to the nurse's station and talk to us. One day he came up. I'm going to put this oval one on to attach these two. And then see what we have here. I do want to have them in a certain position here. So, oh, you know what? This is going to sit wrong. This has to go directly on. Yeah, the orient. See how this loop is flat and this one is front to back? Okay, so let's just put it on there, and I'll take that piece off, the E. So anyway, he was really injured bad, and to the point where I guess he was in a coma and stuff like that, and they had put in a feeding tube. And I think because when they did that, that was in the emergency room, that they used probably like a urinal catheter, which probably doesn't mean anything to you, but it means that a feeding tube is quite a bit shorter than a urinary catheter. So it was really long, and by now he was walking, he was, eating regular diet, and so he really didn't need. And I put the E on backwards, I think. Yeah, I did. Look, I put it on backwards. So I guess we'll have to go with the other position. I want the kitty cat facing me. That's some crazy. Okay, let's move right along. So anyway, one day he came to the nurse's station. I was working with some Filipino nurses. We were always joking and carrying on. And he comes up to us, he says, "Y'all have any scissors there?" I'm like, "What do you need scissors for?" He's like, "I got this thing dangling between my legs. I want to cut it off." Me and the Filipino nurse are like, "What? You can't cut that off." He's like, "No, this thing." And he pulls out the stomach feeding catheter. It was dangling between his legs. He's getting tired of it. Oh my God, we laughed so much. Okay, I need some big ovals. Yeah, we had so much fun. They were so funny, the Filipino nurses. They taught each other how to drive. I'm like, okay, so who started what? Which one of you knew how to drive? They're like, no, we just bought the car. Started driving. I'm like, so one day they wanted to go to some like junk sales and stuff to get some stuff for their apartment. And oh my gosh, I thought for sure I was going to die. Their driving was so bad. I was like, yeah, remind me never to get in the car with you guys again. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out here. This is starting to look a little tight in this position. So we definitely need a round. We might be able to manage this with a round. I might have to extend that out. So here. It was really neat. The place I worked at, they had a board in the hall on the way into the facility. And so I'm going to put this on the other side of the charms. Hopefully that'll work. It's not working with my big fingers though. Let me grab my tool again. And they had a bulletin board. And they had little slips of paper. And what you could do is you could put somebody's name that helped you with something, and you write a message to them like, "Thank you for helping me the other day," or, "It was really kind of you how you treated the patient," and stuff. So at the end of the week on Fridays, they would take all those slips off the board. And the other thing too is the family members would come in and read the stuff, right? And it was really nice. So they draw names and you got prizes, like really good prizes. I really enjoyed working there. Okay, so we need ovals for these. Those are ovals. Okay, let me put the circles there. And we need big ovals. Let's connect these guys. This one to that one. That didn't work. I thought it was going to be a smarty pants here. There's one. And there's the other. It's starting to come along. I guess it's, I might have to separate these two. I don't want them flipping around where you can't see, but that This looks really good so far. So far, so good. Let me see the length of it though, because that may burst my bubble. Turn that way. No, I think this is going to work. Oh, here's the other oval. My sister's birthday is coming up in December 1st. I wish I could surprise her and be there. That would totally freak her out. Okay, and one more. Put that one on there. There. Sweet. I think it's flipped out. There we go. Okay, I'm going to double check the length of this. Because that's going to go there. So I think it's too short, actually. So they're probably about there. Yeah, it's slightly short. So, okay, let me take it to here. So I need a few more links or something different here. I wonder if I put two of these guys on the other side and it would balance it, right? The hearts in the middle. Let me see how long they are. So that's 2. I think I only need, there's the 6. I need 1.5, so I just need 1 link. Let's take a look at what we have. Maybe another heart. You know what I do have is, I guess I'm keeping it oval. I do have some circles. This is really cool. So they have circles as well. But I think we should keep it to the oval. Yeah, something like that. I do have some bigger sizes. Let me see. No, I think that's, there's like a square, but that's totally different. Okay, so we need 2 rounds on each side. And we're going to put an oval. I guess it doesn't really matter because we have to open this anyway to connect it. See what I mean? See what I mean, Vern? I have no idea why I say that. I've never seen that movie. I just knew from popular culture when that was a thing. I think I bent this. There. Let's measure this. No, I think I am going to move that over, and then you can read it. Emma loves cats. Or should I say singular cat? Yeah, that's about right. Perfecto. That should be open enough. Let me get one of these. Yeah, they're connected. Oh, wow. I tried. There. Let's get one of these ovals. These are the tiny ones. I think I'll put those aside. We need some larger ones. There. We used to get, me and Sylvia, for her birthday, we would do something really cool. Like, I think one year, I don't know if we bought it or somebody bought it. My mom bought it for her. It was a gingerbread house. That was cool. Okay, I don't need the second oval. I need a round. Let's put a round through that, through that. But we always used to try and do something special. Because I think, if I remember correctly, sometimes, I think when we got older, like teenagers, she got robbed of, she would get combined gifts at Christmas. It's like, her birthday was a month ago. Oh my god, this looks amazing just like this. So let me see how, oh, it's just the right size. I guess I'll have to keep it. I do have a tiny wrist. That is crazy. Okay, so where are we going to put these guys? I kind of don't want them around the clasp. You don't see it, right? Who wears their clasp at the front? So yeah, let's move. Maybe we should move it to the heart. I think that's the ticket. This is nice. I almost don't want to put the pearls on. See what I mean? I'm like, I keep changing my mind, changing my mind. I need somebody behind me smacking my head. Stop it. Stop it. And I can't find the opening to this jump ring. When we were in school, like grade school, the teachers would say there's a storm coming. I know it. The students started going squirrely, and we did. We would get really silly. I just can't. There it is. Wow, I had it so well together. There. Ah, I hooked it. This was the connecting one. Is it? No. Never mind. So, I had put extra here for that reason. I think what we should do is move this. Let me see. I want it to be slightly loose because once we put the pearls on, it might fit a little more snugly. And as it is, this is like the perfect length. So, you know what? Let me see. I'd just leave that. It's for future editions. My projects are very organic. They never turn out the way they started. Okay, so maybe something like this. Because I don't want them dangling off the charm itself. So let's take, and we'll do an oval to give it a bit of length maybe. Am I going to mess this up again? Yep. This needs to connect either directly to that link because the clasp goes front to back, or I need to add two. So just trying to decide if I should move that. No, I don't want to move it. So hook it there. Yeah, let's just, I'm making this too, I'm overthinking it. I don't know. You guys are the one watching. You tell me. Is this overthinking or what? Okay, I want to make sure. So this definitely has to be on the correct side because the heart, it is in the up position like that. So let's put this guy here like that. Grab hold of that piece. I have a kitty cat in here. I bought him this cave. They're like fabric caves. And he didn't want to have anything to do with it when I bought it. And so I put it in the closet. One day I took it out, put it in my office. I thought, you know, he could have a spot to sit while I'm doing stuff. And lo and behold, it's his new sleeping bed. That's the only thing he wants to sleep on. So I'm going to make sure these are oriented correctly. So it's funny now, like when we leave the house, we turn the heat down a bit. So it gets a little chilly. Of course, you know how cats are. We come home from swimming. He doesn't even come to the door anymore. Usually he comes to the door when we come home. He's tucked in the little cave, all curled up in a ball like a little squirrel or something. Okay. I hope this isn't too painful for you guys to watch. This should take like 5 minutes. So, and it's not like I'm doing any major discussion about, you know, ways to connect things. I want this to go on so that it's facing the E, because I am the kitty queen. I have big conversations with my cat. He never talks back though. I wonder if this is like, okay, that one's, because that one's on the, okay, it's flipping it. Flipping the heart. So I need to move it to one of the round ones. That will drive me nuts. Just drive me nuts. But I normally have these conversations with the cat when Jen's around. And it's usually talking about her. I'll say, you know, The other mummy doesn't love you as much as I do. Don't be fooled. Yeah, I know she feeds you and gives you treats, but I'm. Jen just came to the door. She's like, true dat. Yeah, I'm the number one mommy in this house.
Of course you are.
That's what I tell Jax.
Number one mommy, number one princess.
Number one princess.
Beat or otherwise.
So now this is sitting the correct way. Let me pull it tight. I'm just going to hook it to the heart part. Hopefully that works. I think it's just awkward because there's stuff around the heart. There. Okay. Now we'll do the pearls. So I'm going to measure my length here just to be sure. So you're going to measure from the link at the, here, move that a bit so you can see, from the this part here, don't include this part because this part's going to overlap with your other part of your bracelet or your clasp, and then don't count the distance within the hole that it's going through because that's overlapping as well. So count from here to here. So it's, yeah, it's 6 and maybe a quarter. So that's perfect. So we want to do, we're going to put some jump rings. When I'm attaching string pearls, I like to put it on a closed jump ring, but I don't know that I have any small ones. So let's just use 2 of these. Okay, so let's measure. There, this is perfectly 6. There's a loose one here, yeah. So this is exactly 6. So let's count let's put them on the wire. I'm gonna get cut a piece here so that it's a nice straight because there's a bit of kink in it from being on the clasp or on the spool. Let's get these guys on. And you can like vary this and put some small 11-0 beads in between. It'll look like a nice little spacer bead. Or you could do knotted. If you have some silk string for beads, you could do that technique and use the little clamshell to attach it. So there's lots of options. It's too many options for my little pea brain. I'm trying to think of some of the other things we used to do for Christmas. So we grew up in Toronto. There was a lot of, amazing places to shop, really good deals. And there was a warehouse place when we were teenagers that had like crazy, crazy deals. We used to go there with like $50 and buy a ton of stuff for gifts. We have 9 children in our family, and then nieces and nephews, and brothers and sister-in-laws. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Now I don't like shopping. I don't even like grocery shopping, so I'll tell you. Some of you have heard Jennifer call me a princess. It's true. I hate grocery shopping, so she goes. Now it's even worse because I'm doing keto. I eat eggs, protein, so like chicken or pork, and not a lot of red meat, just because it's expensive. I don't really miss it. And lettuce and cucumber. And that's it. That's my diet. Oh, this is looking amazing. So I think, look, it's bigger than the bracelet. So I think what we need to do is maybe, okay, we need to at least take one off. So let's see what it looks like. And because we're going to add a link, so this side here is okay. You know, if we add a jump ring there, so there, and we'll take, so we took 2 off of this. So I am gonna, oh, wrong tool. Don't do that. So this is the jump ring. I'm gonna attach it, and then we'll do our string onto it. You can do it straight on to this, but I can't believe I thought I opened that. There. Let's get that in there. So now when I go grocery shopping with Jennifer, I'm like a teenager. I'm like, okay, are we done? Are we done? Oh man, let's get out of here. But it's so weird how your perception changes about food. You're not eating it, then you're like, for me, it's pointless to go down the baking aisle and the cookie aisle and stuff like that. Okay, we need some jump rings and our crimp beads. So it says to use a 0 or a 1 for this line is super thin. I think the zeros are super tiny, but you know what? I think I'm going to use it, and then I'm going to cover it with one of these gold 3mm bead caps, and it'll look like it's part of the whole bling bling. I'm very blingy these days. Oh, that's way too many. These are really tiny. I almost can't see these. We may be using the bigger one. I think these are too small. Because they don't know what they're talking about. Looks good. Let's find that loose jump ring. There it is. She's hiding. There we go. So I put my crimp bead on the wire and then put it through. Then, and you know what? This wire is so thin, I'm a little concerned that it might come off the jump ring. I might have to go back over. Let me see, there's the opening to the jump ring. No, it's not even gonna. So I'm gonna take that down to the jump ring to about there. I'm gonna leave that space so that it can move around. I'm just gonna squish it flat because it's small enough that I can. It's moving. I don't want it that far. There, that is lovely. And I'm pulling on this. This is not going anywhere. So I am going to clip the tail off. Just be careful not to clip the other side. And I'm clipping it really close. I know some people will thread that through their first couple of beads. You can do that if you want. I don't. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Let's see if we've got one that's not snuggling the other one. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put that on. So here's a trick when you're using these. If you have a hard time setting them on your crimp bead, you can take your wire and push down on your mat and look at, isn't that crazy? So then you can pick it up in the position and then close it with your tool. I'm just going to do like gently at a time. And I don't think that was the thing. That's my pliers. The wire is getting loose or something. They don't want to expand. I need a new set. Okay, just gently closing it, turning, closing, and maybe a little. If you're like me, when you got it almost there, just leave it. I end up messing it up and I play with it too much. There. Then bring your pearls down. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Oh, lovely. Okay. Let's see where that takes us on the strand. I think we need some more off the strand. So you can have it a bit loose, but you see how close it is to the end here. So I think one more off. Now we're going to have to cut this wire. I still have it on the spool, so I'm going to cut a big piece off there. Take that pearl off, and then we're ready for our, let's get our jump ring ready here. I was gonna do it right on the jump ring, then I thought, no, I better not. Just because when I go to open it, it might come off anyway, so it's like, knowing me. When I lived in Guelph, Ontario, so just outside of Toronto, we went caroling at the nursing homes. Oh my God, at night. It was so beautiful. It was very emotional, I found. The people at the nursing home were so grateful. It was like it sounds corny, I'm going to say it, but like a Christmas miracle. There, I said it. It was just so nice to have people from the community get together and go sing to people that can't leave where they are. You know, people forget about that like I worked with older adults in nursing homes most of my career, and you forget certain things about being in a nursing home. So unless your family member is going to take you out of the nursing home for like a day trip or something, you're stuck there. Now, can you imagine how that feels? First of all, you're away from your family, you're with a bunch of strangers, you got nurses and people bugging you all the time, and you know, other residents annoying you, stealing your stuff. Like, you know, we do our best to, you know, take care that those things didn't happen, but so I am not committed at this point to this because we may have to add the bead back. So I'm just gonna pull in this to where I want it. It's I don't know why it's the crimp bead must be tight. So there. Actually, that's right, exactly. So let's tie this off. So I'm just gonna mush this down like that. Make sure everything's on there where I want it. Cut this off without scratching your pearls. And put our, that's not a crimp cap. Put your crimp cap on. Crimp cover. So again, use that technique. It's amazing. How simple is that? I couldn't believe it. Somebody, one of my subscribers, said, take a look at this link. You're not going to believe it. And this was like years ago after I was struggling to pick up my, look, it came off the jump ring. Oh, I cannot believe that. You stinker, you. So let me close this, like get it back on and then close it. I bet you if I tried to put this back on, it wouldn't work. Let's get that on there. Yeah, so she sent me the link, and it was, I can't remember the video or who it was, but it's some instructional video for beaders. And they were like, yeah, if you struggle to get your crimp caps on, just do this. There, like that, and then scoop it up from behind. And you're ready to close it up. These are small, so they are a little hard to get a... You know what? I'm going to grab my other ones here. Sometimes they are hard to close, like they're just crimped a certain way that they... Wow, this one's just really... See if I have a different pair of pliers to close it. I'm going to try these. I'm surprised this took this much effort to close that. There. Okay. This has been an hour. These type of bracelets should not take this long. It's just, there was a lot of fiddle fatter. I don't know, it wasn't my fault. Let me do it this way here. Does that work? Well, I guess I have to keep it on this side. I think we need to move the kitty cat over. I hate to say it. I was kind of hopeful, wishful thinking earlier. But it's definitely impeding the heart. Okay. And one of the things I probably would have done differently on this, and I can always switch this around, is have this part lower, like down. But the way I had it, I have the pearl set on the top. So, but, so let's get the kitty cat on here. And him back to this middle one where we had him in the beginning. I was going to move him over one, but I think this will work. There. So if I was 14 years old and my aunt gave me this, I would definitely be excited. Well, let's move it over so you can see. But you see what I mean? The pearls should be, because these dangle lower kind of thing. So I'll just flip that around after. So let's take a look at what it looks like on. I think Jen came into my office to let me know it's dinner time. My dad used to work, he built a shop in the backyard, and he would go work on stuff. Oh, this looks amazing. So there you go. How lovely is that? Yeah, he used to work in the back, and my mom would call him, and to the point where he wouldn't come in because he was busy doing something. She made him put a phone in the shop, and he wouldn't answer the phone, so she'd have to send us out to get him. Dinner's ready. So there you go. So this is a lovely bracelet. Thanks for joining me. I know it was a lot for such a simple bracelet, but you know what? Unless you're making these all the time, it's going to take a while to figure out what you want to do. But there's my message. Emma loves cats. I'll have to put another one. And beads. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.